Ready? There we go. I wanted to come on here and tell you guys my fourth baby's birth story since I have not done it yet. He's 3 weeks and 5 days, so just about 4 weeks, just about a month old. And I'm already forgetting details, so I'm going to try my best to remember for this, and hopefully you guys enjoy it, I guess. So, this is my fourth baby, first home birth, first water birth. All three other babies were in a hospital in the bed. First two babies were induced. Third baby wasn't induced, but was still in the hospital. And so yeah, it was definitely a different experience this time around. And I guess I'll jump right in. So I had been having like early labor symptoms for a few days. Contractions were coming and coming, but they never obviously kept going. They would stop. And then that Saturday morning, I woke up with extremely bad back pain, right in the lower back. Definitely felt like contraction-like, but not really because it was in the back. Wasn't anything in the front. Wasn't feeling like my stomach hardened, but it was super painful. So luckily I had already had a chiropractor appointment scheduled that day because I was 40 weeks and like 4 days or something like that. That's probably not right, but I was over 40 weeks. So I had a chiropractor appointment set that day. I had really bad back pain. I always have really bad back pain every pregnancy. Went to the chiropractor, told him like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm in labor. But adjust me anyway, do what you can. So they adjusted me. I left, I came home, and I took a nap. Back pain totally stopped after that. No more anything. I woke up from my nap, and I want to say like I fed my kids lunch or something like that, and I went back to bed. I took another nap. I should have did this like right away afterwards because I'm already forgetting, you guys. How bad is that? Mom brain is horrible. So I took another nap, and I had completely forgot that I had this guy coming over to try to sell me like basically a steamer cleaner. Basically I just wanted my house cleaned for free. They said they were going to clean my oven and everything. So I was like, oh yeah, sweet. And I totally forgot about it. Okay, so, okay, now I remember. So I woke up from my nap, fed the kids lunch, and at that point I was having contractions semi-consistent, about like 8 minutes apart, something like that. It was less than 10, but more than 5. So I texted my midwife and I said, hey, should I like basically try to get this going? Should I take a nap and see if they go away? Like, what should I do? And she said, like, if you're tired, take a nap. If you have energy, do whatever. So I decided to take another nap. So nap number 2 for the day. And I woke up and the guy was scheduled to come at 5, I believe. And I woke up, it was literally less than 10 minutes before he was knocking at my door, and contractions are pretty consistent at this point. So for about an hour, I sat and listened to this guy and watched him clean, and then I told him, like, yeah, no, sorry, I'm not interested. Like, you need to get out of my house. I didn't tell him I was in labor. I was very, very polite about it and told him no. So at that point, I told my husband, like, hey, I'm going to take a bath, and then I'm going to go for a walk. So I got in the tub, and I was in the tub for, like, maybe 5 minutes. And then we walked my driveway. My driveway's 1/4 of a mile. So we walked up my driveway, and by the time we got to the top, I was like, okay, yes, this is it. So I got back, I grabbed my phone, and I messaged my friend, and I said, hey, can you come get my kids? I messaged my midwife, and I told her, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. Contractions are getting more painful, and they're getting closer together. So she said, okay, we'll be there in an hour. So me and my husband walked around a while. My midwife had 2 student midwives with her. One showed up probably about 45 minutes later, and she started getting like the tub filled. She started just getting stuff ready basically for me. And then there's a fly in here. Midwife and the other student midwife show up, time my contractions, check like my blood pressure and all that. And this is about 7 o'clock at night now, 7:30 maybe. And the tub gets full, and they asked me if I wanted to get it, and I said yes. Contractions were about 5 minutes apart at this point. 4 or 5 minutes apart. So, I get in the tub, and basically just labor in the tub. I got out once because I felt like contractions weren't coming fast enough for me. Like, basically, I was like, okay, let's get this show on the road. I want them coming like every minute. I want the game going. So I got out of the tub and got on a birthing ball and bounced for 10-15 minutes, and then I was like, yep, I need to get back in the tub, because you guys, the tub is a whole different ball game with taking away the pain. It helps tremendously. I don't think I'll ever be able to have another baby without a tub again. So yeah, I got back in the tub, and then I just labored in the tub. And then towards the end of the labor, I remember my midwife saying, like, Amber, have you ever heard of, I can't remember what the line's called, but basically there's a line on your butt. She's like, you have it. And it means, basically, it's almost push time. And I could tell that it was push time, but I wasn't really pushing. And I don't know how long went by, and my midwife was finally like, Amber, what's going on? Like, why haven't you basically pushed this baby out yet? And she totally called it, and I was like, yep, I'm scared. I don't want to do this. And she's like, well, what are you scared of? And I was like, well, the pain. Because contractions I can handle. It's the actual pushing that sucks. Yeah. So I wish I would have kept this paper, because I had a whole bunch of scripture, and then I had something at the bottom that I had wrote that basically said, it was something like, my God is bigger than my fear. I don't know, it was like a whole paragraph of basically something like that. So she read the scripture, she read that, and I had asked Rusty to get in the tub by this point. So he was probably in the tub for about an hour. And so she read that, and then I started pushing. And I pushed once, and the head started coming out. And the head wasn't completely 100% all the way out when that contraction stopped. And I stopped pushing, and so I had like that and TMI here, you guys. I had that burning feeling. I was like, let me show you here. That's lovely. I had that burning feeling for what felt like an eternity. Next contraction comes, and I push again, and he basically just slides right on out. Yeah. And I pulled back. I was like on my knees, or squatting. I think I was squatting. And then he came out, I grabbed him and leaned back into Rusty. And then they checked him as he was on me. They were covering him. The placenta cord was a little bit short, like not tremendously short, but a little bit short. So I can remember him like laying on me and Rusty being like, Amber, keep his head above water. And I'm sitting here like, I'm trying. So yeah, then we hung out there for a while. We didn't cut the cord until it stopped pulsating. And then when it stopped pulsating, they cut it. I got out of the tub and I came into my bed and I delivered the placenta on my bed. And they were checking Asher. And they were a little bit worried because he was breathing a little bit funky, basically. You could like see the aspirations. Is that what the word is? I don't even know if that's the word, but you could see it like in his chest area. And honestly, if the midwives hadn't have been here, I would have had no idea, because he was crying, he was eating at this point, he had already pooped, like everything seemed totally normal. And so they were a little bit worried about that. They checked all of his like APGAR scores, everything looked good except for that. So they ended up giving him some oxygen, and they were sucking like fluid and stuff out of his mouth and his nose. And then I don't know how long went by. Maybe an hour? Maybe. So oh my goodness, what time is he born? Like 1 or 2 in the morning? 2:24 in the morning, I think he was born. You guys, how bad is that? Okay, so yeah. It must have been about an hour later. My midwife had made a comment about, yep, I think we're going to have a transfer. And I thought she was joking at first. But nope, sure enough, she was serious. So we ended up having to take him to the NICU. And we took him to a hospital about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from us. Just because I knew if we went to the closest one, they weren't, I wanted to bring him to a bigger city. So we brought him to the NICU. Basically, they didn't do anything that the midwives didn't do, except for they gave him a chest x-ray, and they said, yep, there's still some fluid in his lungs. So they just gave him some more oxygen. They sucked a little bit more stuff out. And they said, okay, we're going to wait till the doctor comes, but you guys are probably just going to go home. So about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, the doctor comes and checks him over and says, yep, everything looks good. You guys can go home. Lovely paperwork. Took forever. We didn't get out of there till about 4 o'clock that night. So thank God I had taken a few naps before the previous day, because otherwise that would have sucked. Well, it wasn't fun anyway. It sucked anyway. So, like, bless your heart if you've ever had to stay in the NICU for more than 12 hours, because that 12 hours drove me crazy just being there. So I feel so horrible and so bad for you guys that actually have had to stay there for an extended period of time. So yeah, we got home about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and for the most part, like, I came straight to bed. And we slept the next, I don't know, 12 hours basically. Obviously besides waking up and feeding and changing and stuff. But, oh my goodness, this fly, you guys. So yeah, everything, like, went great. He's waking up. Everything went great besides that little hiccup, which ended up being okay. So his name is Asher. He was born 9 pounds, 6 ounces, I think at 2:24 in the morning. I'll let you guys see his face. No, you're too crabby now, aren't you? You're too crabby. Can you say hi? Say hi without being crabby? So yeah, I will definitely, if God blesses with me with more children, I will definitely be doing another home birth. It was so much better than a hospital birth. And you guys, I didn't have bad hospital births. I had great hospital births. I was very impressed with my doctor. Every nurse I've ever had has been awesome. But there's just something about being in the comfort of your own home that makes it better. Okay, so yeah, that's basically my story. Oh, I got one more thing to tell you. So I had another goat that was due, and I wasn't 100% sure on her due date, because she ended up getting bred by a baby buckling. She was giving birth about the same time that I was, and she ended up having triplets, and everything went good. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna feed him. But there's my birth story for the 4th baby boy named Asher. So, see ya.